Hello and welcome to Macabre and
Hello.
Company. Hi, George.
Hi, Erica. Welcome back, listeners.
Yes, welcome everybody. Oh my goodness, what a day. It has been already been quite a morning for me. And George has been my emotional support human while I got my life together. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine. We all have those days where things just don't go right. That's usually Mondays for me. But today, actually, here in Palm Springs, it's like 79 degrees out. So it's like summer in England, which is perfect. So I'm sat outside. I've got a little glass of well, a little glass, it's quite a large glass of sparkling rosé.
Oh my
And
gosh, I
I'm just
love.
chilling with the dogs. It's Sunday fun day, so what better time to tell a spooky story, right?
So amazing. Well, it's 7:20 in the morning on Monday for me, which is
Oh,
why my day
yes.
didn't work out. I got your case of the Mondays in advance.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're at work and I'm glad you got there safe and you are all ready to partay down with this story and another episode of Macabre and Company. Are you ready for this?
I am so ready. I am so excited.
Oh my gosh. So, well, gather around, everyone. Whether you are driving, if you're at home, if you're in the bathtub, if you're in bed, sit back, relax, because I'm about to tell you one of the creepiest, most mind-bending conspiracies that I've ever come across.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So it's called the Philadelphia experiment, and it's a strange mix of military secrecy, time travel, some far darker things, and some really weird kind of theories. Have
Oh
you
my
ever
gosh, we
heard of
love
it?
all of them. No, but we love all of those things.
I know. And do you know what's funny though? Whenever I like do research on conspiracies and stories, they're usually weirder when they're based in America,
Yeah. Yeah, I
right?
feel like the conspiracy stories in England are like, there's more ghosts, except for and some
Yeah.
aliens. Like it
Ghosts and
maybe I'm wrong.
witches, but here in the US, I feel like the government is involved in a lot of them, which kind of makes it more
Yeah.
interesting and makes it a little bit more realistic feeling,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So anyway, so picture this. The year is 1943. So do
Okay.
you remember what was happening in 1943?
George,
Um,
I'm not that old.
I didn't mean firsthand, like from schooling, from school. So the year is 1943. The United States and the rest of the world is deep into World War II. The military's working on top secret experiments to gain an edge on the Nazis. But what if I told you one of those experiments went completely off the rails, creating a ripple in reality itself?
Oh my gosh, I believe you already.
A glitch in the matrix, if you like we're messing with time and space here, which always worries me when you hear about these sorts of experiments because I'm like, y'all don't know what you can't reverse. You know, this thing, there's it's like the one where
Yes.
they're trying to like recreate the power of the sun in that thing somewhere. I don't know. We'll do an episode on that sometime. I'm like, but what if you do create the power of the sun and it explodes? Like we're all doomed.
Yeah, like what are you even doing?
What are they doing? Anyway, so this story begins aboard the USS Eldridge, a naval destroyer escort stationed in Philadelphia. In an attempt to make the ship invisible to radar, what they called the degaussing experiment, the Navy supposedly used powerful electromagnetic fields to bend light and radar waves around the ship. Simple,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah, just bending some light.
Just been in light and radar, you know. Things did not go as planned, obviously. I mean, it's 1943. I don't really think it's possible to make things invisible now. I mean, I know they can do it on radars, and that's why we have like stealth ships and stuff, but and I don't know how it works, but this is 1943. This is like the beginning of like military technology, you know?
Yeah.
So what happened next? According to some sources, it's pure science fiction. Except it's not just science fiction. People claim the USS Eldridge vanished completely, disappeared
Whoa.
right off the radar, and no one knows exactly where it went.
Stop.
Yeah, but here's where it gets really weird. When the ship reappeared, it wasn't just a few minutes later, it was hours later. So the ship itself actually went invisible,
So it just
disappeared,
disappeared.
and didn't come back until a few hours later.
Hours later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some say that it reappeared in a completely different location, right? So some people say, and this all the files in this are declassified. Like are classified. Like if you read up on it, like the official stuff from like the government and historical websites are really like minimal on the information that they release. But
Mhm.
the theories behind it, and if you do a deep dive into the research, like look at other YouTubers and like other websites, conspiracy theory websites, there's a lot of information that leads people to believe this. As I'm saying that, a military airplane is going right above my head.
Oh my gosh, do you think they can hear you?
They know, they're listening. They're
They're
gonna make
probably
me invisible.
listening.
Anyway,
No, I need to see you.
so some people say that it appeared in Norfolk, Virginia, which was hundreds of miles away from Philadelphia. Others claim it didn't just travel through space, it traveled through time, right? Like it just went and it wasn't
Right.
invisible, it really just like jumped forward in time.
Mm. Or
Yeah,
backwards.
or backwards. So crew members, when they came back, were like not the same.
Oh
So there
my
was
gosh, there were
people
people
on
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
How many
There was
people were on it?
a whole crew. When they came back, some were reportedly fused into the ship's metal and hull, as if they were stuck
Stop.
inside it. Yeah, their bodies melding with the structure.
Okay,
Like
so that's
imagine
totally
that.
time jump then. That's time jump then, right?
Yeah,
You've
that's
not just
like
gone invisible.
right. That's like um teleportation, but on
And
like
but
a
like a
really
mistake.
effed up stage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whew.
So people who'd been perfectly fine before seemed to experience intense disorientation and hallucinations, and others, their mental states were completely shattered. Like the crew coming back from this
Mm.
experiment, like went back to their families in total state. Some of them never made it back to their families because they were like fused with the ship.
Wow. Were the
Injured, body parts missing, like just a mess.
ones that were fused with the ship, could they speak to them or were they dead?
No, they were dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At this point, the Navy supposedly covered it up. They denied the experiment took place, and that's where the official story ends. So, like, when you look at the official stories from the Navy, they're like, no, like, we ended the experiment, it didn't work, boom. But the ship had
Mm.
disappeared. So, they ended the stories, and the ship disappeared, off radar, gone,
They're
done.
like signed off, report done, bye bye
Yeah.
ship, and then it turned back up again.
But
Oh
that's not
no.
where the Philadelphia experiment story stops, because there are far darker and stranger theories about what really happened, and it all ties into the idea of alternate realities, parallel dimensions, and mind control.
Mind control.
Oh, yes, mind control.
Oh no.
Yeah, so let's break down some of the most insane, mind-boggling theories that have emerged over the years. First off, the idea that this wasn't just a teleportation experiment, but an interdimensional experiment. There's always these theories, and these theories have been around for a very long time, that there's multiple dimensions, multiple versions of this dimensions, mirror universes, that sort of a thing. That's not a new theory that's just come from like Star Trek and like the Marvel universe and such. It's a
Mm.
theory that's been around for a very long time. So let's talk a little bit about that. So what if the USS Eldridge didn't just teleport into another place, but actually slipped into another dimension entirely? In this
Mm.
dimension, time could work differently and space might be distorted. If you buy into this theory, the ship didn't just vanish in space, it slipped out of our reality for a period of time and came back to a reality that was slightly different than before. So what if
Wow.
those weren't the crew members that went originally? What if we got a
Right.
different version? What if
That
we
would make so much
swapped
sense.
them?
That's why they're completely different.
Messed up. Because there's a theory that like if the universes and dimensions are infinite, then there's an infinite possibility, right? Like everything
Mm.
everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Incredible movie. Like in some version of the universe, Erica, me and you were pebbles on a beach, like chatting with each other.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cute. And then when the waves come, we like knock our heads together and we just like roll around.
Yeah, in another universe, I am like a little head growing off your shoulder, and you carry me around
I would
everywhere.
love that. I would get you
I'd
a little
never stop
bow tie.
talking. So here's where things get even freakier. Some believe the experiment didn't just create rifts in space, it created rifts in time. There are people who claim that the USS Eldridge might have slid not just forward or backward through time, but that it might have opened a kind of time loop. This ship could have been caught in a loop of timelines, reappearing in different years, different realities or different versions of Earth. So essentially,
Whoa.
another version of the USS Eldridge could just appear anywhere.
Yeah.
In Palm
Like
Springs,
right
in the
now.
desert,
Oh my gosh.
in
It
Melbourne.
could just be stuck.
Yeah. Now, for the truly twisted part, though. Some
There's
conspiracy
more.
theorists argue that the Philadelphia experiment was never about radar invisibility at all. Instead, it was a mind control experiment. What if the government was testing the potential to influence or even control people's minds on a massive scale? If the ship could bend electromagnetic fields enough to make it disappear and reappear, couldn't it also manipulate the brainwaves of crew members aboard? Some suggest that the extreme exposure to the fields that have altered their consciousness, turning the crew into mind-controlled puppets, unable to recall what happened during the experiment. So crew members don't really know what happened or didn't know what happened, after this whole
Mhm.
thing. So the experiment was shut down, like whatever. Some of them went home, obviously some didn't, but the ones that kind of survived the experiment and the ones that went home to their families did not know what had happened.
Yeah.
No recollection.
Wow. No recollection at all. Did they have their memories from before?
Hmm. Yes, but they
Okay.
just didn't really know what was going on. It was a blur, and that whole space of the time disappearance, going away and coming back, no
Yeah.
clue. Very much like Thanos' click.
Yes. Just like that. Bam.
Yeah. So what if the whole
Wow.
thing was an experiment in controlling people's minds on a massive global scale, and the USS Eldridge was just a test run? The military could have been experimenting with creating super soldiers, or even using the fields to affect memories and actions of those on board, ensuring they wouldn't remember their roles in the secret program.
Dun dun dun.
Like, honestly, like things could be happening, like the Men in Black when they do the flashy thing, and your brain,
Yeah.
and you forget stuff. Like, what
Yeah.
if they're
We
actually
could,
doing that?
right?
Goes
I
back to what we were
mean,
saying about the other day about Planet Nine. When you try to think
mm,
beyond the observable universe, it's almost like something's stopping you thinking about it.
yeah, it like hurts your brain. It's like our brains can't quite get there.
Can't quite get there. Okay. Now, if this story isn't wild enough and these theories aren't wild enough, some people even tie the Philadelphia experiment to a later, more bizarre conspiracy, the Montauk Project. This
Oh,
is
I
a
have heard of this.
Yeah, this is a series of alleged government experiments that took place at Montauk Air Force Station in New York during the 1980s. Come on, 80s!
Yes, 80s babies.
According to some, the Montauk Project was a direct extension of the Philadelphia experiment, where the government supposedly continued their research on mind control, time travel, and even dimension hopping.
Oh my gosh, I want a dimension hop so bad.
I know. I mean, sometimes I feel like my life is kind of like dimension hopping because I've lived so many places, done so many jobs, met so many
Yeah,
people.
me too. I often tell stories of people like, how have you done all these things? How have you lived this life?
Oh yeah, people don't believe us sometimes, right? Because they're like, "You've
Yeah,
had that job, you've had so many jobs," and I'm like, "Yeah, girl, you got to keep going. You
yeah.
gotta,
You gotta hustle.
I
Yeah, so
know."
many jobs, like seen so many things and been in so many places.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so continuing. Some claim that the Montauk Project researchers were experimenting with teleportation and time travel as a part of their larger agenda to open portals to other dimensions. There are even stories that the government was experimenting with psychic abilities and telepathic communication, turning people into psychic warriors to be used in future wars. I want to be a psychic
Oh
warrior.
my gosh, me too.
Wait, what am I thinking?
How much you love me.
That it's just a constant. I was actually thinking about pizza, but okay.
Oh. I'm also thinking about pizza now.
Wait, what am I thinking now?
Wine.
I was thinking about wine.
Yes.
Glug glug.
Cheers.
Okay, as clink sound effect. Okay, so now let's take a step back and think about all of this for a second. The idea that a ship could teleport, time travel, and even enter different dimensions sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel or movie. But the fact that so many people have come forward with similar accounts, and the idea that the government might have hidden these experiments for decades, could it be possible? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Everything's
Could it be,
possible.
yeah, could it be that they've found a way to manipulate reality itself? I mean,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So there's this whole subreddit group as well. If you go on subreddit and on Reddit and just search for reality shifting. There is a whole
Mm.
community of people that believe that that they're not just dreaming, that sometimes they shift realities for a period or for lengthy times, you know?
I love Reddit. That's what, as soon as we're off, I'm gonna go search for that subreddit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Reality shifting. Like there's like so many stories. I was reading one the other day. Someone was like, honestly, swear to God, like I shifted back to my childhood and I just lived like 3 years and now I'm back and it's like I'm back in bed with my husband. But I was literally, she's like, I relived 3 years of my life and now I'm back. Super weird. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, people could just be making that up, but
But
why
like,
would they be
why? That's
wasting their
so
time to do
random.
that?
Why would you be making that up and putting that on a Reddit message board?
Yeah, just write a book.
Yeah.
So here's one last twist. What if the government didn't just create a rift in time, but they opened a black hole? Now, this goes back to like what I was saying about like people that are fucking with playing with the energy of the sun and trying to recreate the sun on Earth. Like, let's not
Yeah.
go there, guys. Like, it's already going to explode one day and everything's going
Right.
to be
Like,
gone.
are we tempting fate? What are you thinking?
Yeah, like they're playing with stuff that shouldn't be played with. Why would we want to create a black hole? So, for example, there is, I mean, data, right? Scientific data that shows like a black hole the size of a penny could like destroy everything, you
Yeah.
know? It can just
Everything
put
will
things
just
in.
get sucked right out of there.
Yeah. But what if the government was trying to make their own? And what if they created one and opened it? Some theorists believe that the experiment might have torn a hole in the fabric of space itself. The ship could have been caught in a mini black hole, sucking the crew and the ship into another reality. Because really, we don't know what happens when you go into a black hole. I mean, theory suggests that it's just like crushes all mass
Yeah.
so much that it just dissipates, right? Disappears. And
But we
like,
we don't have proof.
no,
So
because we can't get anything close enough to a black hole.
exactly.
This ship could have been caught in a mini black hole, sucking everything into it, and this could explain why people remember strange things. Things that couldn't have happened, like the ship disappearing for days or shifting to different locations, right? Like, maybe this is what happened. Maybe it did work. Maybe they did create a small black hole, and maybe that's what happened.
Maybe.
Maybe the ship didn't just vanish. It was swallowed by a black hole, and the crew experienced strange supernatural events from being in the void. What if the government knew they couldn't control these black holes, so they had to shut the experiment down? Like they did it once and they were like, oh shit, like we couldn't,
Like, oh no, we
let's
like,
not do this again.
oh,
That's why they do like all those things and they build those big machines to like to
yeah.
contain them now because they know like before they did it and it wasn't good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's scary.
But that's the thing about the Philadelphia experiment. The more you dig, the more you questions you find, right? Like was it just a failed experiment in radar invisibility, or did the US Navy unlock something they didn't understand, something far more dangerous, something that could bend time and space and manipulate the very fabric of reality itself? Maybe
Mm,
we'll never know the full truth, which, as we talk about lots on this podcast, we're never really going to know the truth on a lot of these things. That's why they're so interesting,
yeah.
and so cryptic and exciting to talk about. But maybe the government's covering it up, or maybe we just haven't cracked the surface of a much bigger mystery. But one thing is for sure, there is more to the Philadelphia experiment that meets the eye, and it's way scarier than any of us could imagine. Because imagine disappearing and then reappearing, and you're like part of like a tree or at your
Yeah,
house, like fused
absolutely
with
not.
it.
Have you seen the show From?
Wait, is that the one where they're in that town and they arrive
Yeah, and
and
they
they
can
can't
never
get
get
out?
out.
I
Yeah,
watched like the first 4 episodes. We've talked about this, I think. I need to get back into it
probably.
because
It's it's really good. It's really good, but that's like they have these trees that they can jump back and forth and like go to different parts of, but like we don't know, we the audience doesn't know where they're jumping to, but somebody, spoiler alert for one tiny part, tries to jump through and follow somebody through a tree and gets like stuck in a bunch of cement and is like part of it. So
no, no,
maybe it's a
thank
really a
you.
documentary.
Maybe it is. Anyway, so next time you see a ship out on the water, or even hear about some government experiment, just remember some doors once opened can never be closed again. And
Yeah,
the
some doors are not
Philadelphia
meant to be
experiment
open.
might be one of those doors.
Maybe, oh my gosh, maybe there's just no stopping it now.
I know, it's just so weird. I mean, also, like, sometimes I do this thing where I like go on Google Earth and
Mm,
go to like really remote parts. Like, so again, on Reddit, right? Go onto Reddit and like weird places on Google Earth.
yeah.
Like people have found like weird because there's people that just sit on Google Earth just zooming in on
I
stuff.
the Reddit is honestly such a great place. I'm
Yeah,
such a fan.
I'm a fan too. I mean, some people are like, I'm like, guys, relax, like, stop being mean and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
like don't do that.
and
Okay,
don't
what do
involve
I
people. I dislike it when people like
especially
call
with people's
people out.
children.
Yeah. But also, let's just have fun with it. But the people on there, like, they zoom in and stuff. So I like to go on, like, Google Earth and find stuff. There's all sorts of shit in, like, the wilderness and, like, big empty expanses that are, like, government spots that are covered that you can't zoom in on because they don't want you to see what's there.
Yeah.
Stargates,
Woo.
dinosaurs,
Dinosaurs. I'm
all
looking at Google
sorts.
Earth right now. Oh my
I
gosh.
read, watch this thing. I mean, this is off topic, but we've kind of gone onto this Google Earth thing. There is group of scientists in the UK that they have extracted collagen from a dinosaur bone. I watched it on YouTube, like the actual like BBC News like report.
Stop.
So they're like the scientist was like, we're still a long, long way to bringing back a dinosaur. He
Yeah.
said, but this is the first time that we've ever been able to extract collagen. So I guess what they were saying is over
Wow.
millions of years, obviously collagen and stuff has rotted away and we just end up with fossils. But now as technology advances, by crushing up, they like grind up the bones and they
Yeah.
found elements of collagen in there and they've been able to extract dinosaur collagen. Google it.
That's so I will
Yeah.
be Googling it.
I
That's so
actually thought of
exciting.
you. I was like, oh my God, Erica would freak out if they bring a
Yes.
dinosaur back. She's gonna love
I will be there. I will be there in a heartbeat.
it. Yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
that is the theories of
Wow.
the Philadelphia experiment and the
What do
Montauk
you think?
experiment. I
What do
mean,
you
I'm
believe?
always into that. I think there's obviously stuff to science that I think we shouldn't be messing with. I think
Yeah.
especially back then in like the 40s and 50s when scientists were getting more of a grip on physics, especially,
Yeah.
and kind of figuring stuff out. There's obviously things I don't think we should mess with, but there's things that they are messing with.
Mm.
And I think potential. You know, the first person that ever told me about the Philadelphia experiment was actually my grandfather. My granddad was a
Oh.
big, on my mom's side, my granddad, great guy. We used to watch a show called Arthur C. Clarke, like Mysteries from Beyond or something. Arthur C. Clarke was
Ooh.
a scientist and I wouldn't say a conspiracy theorist, but he wrote a lot of books on like the crystal skulls that are being found throughout, like ancient
Yeah.
aliens, all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
I mean, he died a long time ago, but yeah, my grandparents gave me a lot of books, and the Philadelphia experiment was one in there, was in one of those books. And it's just really interesting because I guess no one will know, but the truth is out there, baby.
Yeah.
No one knows. But also,
I think it's
the further
real.
along we get, like the less likely it is to get whistleblowers. So I don't really think, I mean, anyone from 1943, I mean, they're probably really, really old people now.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Like that some secrets are just gonna die with people.
I know. I want to find out though. But anyway.
We need to bring back deathbed confessions. Like everybody, please, deathbed confessions.
Mhm.
There used to be a podcast called Deathbed. I don't remember what it was called actually. Something Deathbed Confessions, something like that, with people's wild confessions. And we need to bring that back. Come on, people. We need to know the secrets. Stop hiding the secrets.
Stop hiding the secrets. Tell us on your deathbed.
Tell
Or
us
just tell us before
everything.
that. Tell us on your birthday
Yeah, ooh, tell us on our birthday or our birthday or Christmas, like
or Sunday.
any day that you feel like dropping some dramatic knowledge. We're here for it.
We're all here.
Write
Call
to
us
us. You
or
should write to
email
us
us.
at macabre&company@gmail.com. You could send us a DM on Instagram or TikTok at macabre&company@gmail.com. You could join the Patreon and discuss with the people in the Patreon your deathbed confessions if you'd like a more private viewing as opposed to the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to us jabber on about the Philadelphia experiment today. We
Fascinating.
hope we have started off or ended your day with a little bit of mystery. Feel
Mhm.
free to go and do your own research too. I encourage all of you to get into a internet hole and find out more about the Philadelphia experiments, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And
Yes, and send us
Erica,
anything you find.
yeah, absolutely. And as always,
Stay spooky.
stay spooky, folks. We love you. We'll speak to you soon.
Love you.
Bye,
Bye.
friends. I found the adapter for my microphone. Does it sound good?
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Good, because the
Very
last
good.
one, I mean, I was like disappointed because I was like, oh, it was a good episode, but my mic didn't sound great.
You're just jealous now because my mic sounds so good.
I know. She got
You're
the fancy
used to sounding
one.
better than me. You sounded better than me for 18 episodes, and now,
Now you're like legit. You're the one.
yeah.
Alrighty, here we go. I'll
Yeah.
count us in. In three,
Okay.
two.